Good morning, traders, and welcome to Trading Wave Market Weekly Outlook. Right, so I'm going to be your host today. My name is Sandy Lengabo from the Trading Waves. Right, so guys, what you have on our screen here is our home page. If you do wish to visit us, please, that is our home page there. You can visit us just to check out our services there. Right, so for more details, if you want to contact us, if you go on our YouTube page, which is our Trading Waves, so you can go and click any of the weekly outlooks there, you will find our contact details. Like for example, if you click on this one here, you're going to find our contact details there. Right, so you've got our email address. If you do wish to contact us regarding any of our services, you can email us there, but we always prefer that you can just message us on our web page, so where you're going to get a faster response there. But you can email us them. That is our email address here, info@trading-waves.com, and there's our WhatsApp number there, and we've got also our Telegram channel and also our Trading View. And below that, we've got our website. Please take notes. It's www.trading-waves.com. And below that, you can follow us on our social media pages on Facebook and also on Twitter and also on stock Twitter as well. Right, so the past 2 weeks, we've been showing you how we've been traded thousands of pips to the downside, especially on the major pairs. And the last week to this week, the past week here, our theme has always been the corrections. So we have been able to see that the corrections were going to play out on the US dollar pairs. Obviously, with our special indicator, with the help of it, it did indicate that we should be expecting that we are going to have corrections. Right, so I'm going to show you that. And before I show you that, please go and watch this video here. It will give you a detailed view what do we do during the week on our Trading Waves community. Please go and watch this video here. It will give you a clear view what we do. All right, so let's start and see how did the markets perform in the few weeks. Right, so we're going to be starting with pound US dollar here. So pound US dollar, the week before the one ended, we showed you how we've been able to trade this from right around this area here. That was almost about 1,000 pips, above 1,000 pips. So last week we were looking at this one here, or the previous week we're looking at this here to give us these 3 waves corrective structure before we see a continuation move to the downside. Like I've said, indicated that we help with our indicator. With the help of our indicator, it was telling us that we should be expecting to see that pullback. We know that most of the markets, they spend 80 to 85% in the corrective structures. So we need to be able to take advantage of those corrective structures. So you've seen that this was our forecast here on a pound US dollar, this to give us this 3-wave corrective structure here. And how did that play out? You can see that pound US dollar here, it has given us the move to the upside here, the move to a downside, and we've been able to trade this year over 330 pips to the upside, and we are still expecting a little bit of a push to the upside to at least around the 127.50. Then from there, we're going to be expecting to see this move to the downside here on pound US dollar. Now let's have a look at another one here. That would be euro US dollar here. Again, euro US dollar, we've showed you how we've traded this one, this move here, which was over thousands of pips. Just from here, we've been trading this over 1,000 pips, but we knew that this should come to give us this 3-wave pullback here, and our special indicator was telling us that the indicator, the correction indeed, it is a must that we have. Now let's have a look at this here. Our focus was that we're going to see this one to be a 3-wave move to the upside to complete this wave 4 here before we see more bearish move to the downside. Now let's see, how did euro US dollar play out? Indeed, as expected, we are getting this one here to be a 3-wave move to the upside here. This has gone as far as about 330 pips here. Now we are having this one here to be a 3-wave corrective structure here. And the matter of question is that whether this has already ended our wave 4, are we getting a bearish move to a downside here, or we yet to still see 3 more wave pullback and then last step to the upside before the actual drop to the downside here. So our indicator is going to tell us when this is ready to drop all the way down here, or we yet to see this one yet to be giving us this three-way pullback before the actual drop. But that has traded up over 330 pips there on a euro US dollar. And let's have a look at the next one here. That will be Audi US dollar here. So Audi US dollar, we've been expecting that this has completed the 5-wave move to the downside, and we are looking at this one here to give us this 3 waves corrective structure here. This is what we'll be looking at here before we see more continuation move to the downside. Now let's have a look. How did Audi US dollar play out there in that correction? So this is where most of the people, they'll lose money because they do not understand the corrections or the corrective structures are here. So we are able to see, and this is what the members get to see before these markets take place. So our US dollar, we're expecting to see this one to be a 3-wave move to the upside. You can see that this has already traded up 265 pips, and we are still expecting that this is going to make more move to the upside. Now, we're not expecting to see this move to the upside here. We will be expecting to see some 3-wave pullback before the move to the upside here. Now you will see that how is accurate trade in the market using the Elliott wave. But most importantly, with the help of the indicator, it tells you exactly when to make the entries there. So we try to make all those pinpointed areas with the help of our indicator. Now let's have a look at this here. New Zealand US dollar, same thing. We were expecting that this has completed the 5-wave move to the downside. It's a must that we see this one here to be a 3 waves corrective structure before we see a continuation move to the downside. How did New Zealand US dollar play out there? You can see that this has traded over 272 pips to the upside in a 3 waves corrective structure. Now it's a matter of whether this has already done with this 3-wave structure here. Are we getting a bearish move to a downside, or we still have to see this here 3-wave move here, and this to at least give us this one more leg here. So we're expecting to see a WXY here before we see a continuation move to the downside. But there's nothing wrong with this here. We can see New Zealand US dollar to be dropping from here, the move that we've been expecting, meaning that our wave B has completed here, and we get this move to the downside here. Now let's have a look at the next one here. That would be the dollar index. We've been looking at this one to have traded over 900 points to the upside, and the market was ready for a pullback. How we're able to see that this was going to drop from here. So the expectation was for this one here to give us this 3-wave pullback. And let's have a look. How did the DXY play out? So the DXY has played out inch perfectly here. We have seen this one to be trading in a 3-wave move to a downside, and it's a matter of a question whether this is going to be ready for a move to the upside, or we still yet to see a 3-wave pullback and one more leg up before the actual move. But that has traded over 269 points from exactly where we've been able to see that the DXY was ready for the pullback. And quite a few of them. Now let's have a look at Audi yen. So Audi yen, we will be looking at this one to be a 3-wave corrective structure here, and we're expecting to see this last leg here to the downside before the move to the upside here. Now let's have a look. How did the Audi yen plays out after? So you'll see that the Audi yen has already traded lower over 440 pips, as we forecasted that we should get this leg to the downside here before the actual move to the upside. 440 pips to the downside, and now we are already 362 pips up, and the expectation is for this one to continue with that move to the upside there. Now let's have a look at the next one. It will be New Zealand yen. Obviously, it will be expected to play out the same. We'll be looking at this one to complete this leg to the downside, but structurally, we're looking at this to be an ABC, looking for this last leg to a downside before the actual move to the upside there. Now let's have a look. How did New Zealand yen play out? New Zealand yen played out inch perfectly here, dropping over 368 pips before we move to the upside here. So we traded over 368 pips to the downside, and this has already moved 362 pips. It came right into the blue box, and the expectation for this one here to continue with that bullish move to the upside. And let's have a look at the next one here. the indices. We have been talking about the indices, and it has been a matter of a question whether they have bottom or we still yet to see more bearish move to the downside. And as for our members, they were very aware what to expect on the indices. Looking at NASDAQ, we've been looking at this one here to have to drop right into the blue box because we've been talking about this corrective structure for quite some time. There's a 5-wave move to the upside here. This should be a wave B, and we're expecting that this should come right into the blue box before we see a move to the upside there. Now you will see that NASDAQ has already started to trade to the upside. It went and checked the blue box here, and now we're starting to see this one to be making a move to the upside. And against this swing low, the expectation will be for this one to continue with that bullish move to the upside there. And now let's have a look at the next one. That would be Dow Jones. Same thing here. We'll be looking at this one to be a 3-wave move corrective structure right into the blue box. This to have been our 3-wave move down, our WXYXZ here, and this to be our wave Y. So the expectation was for this one to check the blue box, and from there looking for this bullish move to the upside here. Now let's have a look. How did Dow Jones play out there? As expected, we saw that one making a move to the downside, and it has started to make a move to the upside. Yes, came and checked the blue box as expected, and it has already rallied over 2,611 points, and we are still expecting that this should give us this move to the upside here, especially against this swing low here. Now you can see that how accurate this is here. These are the charts that are computer generated, but with the help of the indicator, then we are able to spot these entries here. Now let's have a look at the next one here. That will be S&P 500. The nice one that played out there, the same as the rest of the other indices. We're expecting, we were already into the blue box, but we could see that the cycle and the sequence was not complete here. We still expected to see one more to a downside before the actual move. The overall structure that we're looking at here is this to have been an ABC here before we see a move to the upside. Now let's have a look. How did S&P 500 play out here? All right, so S&P 500, you have seen here, it has made one more into the blue box, and this has already rallied over 348 points, and we are still expecting to see this one here to be making that move to the upside, especially against this swing low here. So anything here or any pullbacks here in 3, 7, 11 swings, then you can expect that S&P 500 should continue with the bullish move to the upside. And the last one from the indices was UK 100 that you've seen the past few weeks here. We've been expecting that these to have completed this 3-wave corrective structure here, this being a WXY, and the expectation was for this one here to make a move to the upside. And it came exactly into the blue box, and we've seen that UK 100 has already made this rally to the upside here, which has been over 430 points. Now, these are the few pairs that I'm going to be showing them, plenty of them, but I'm just going to be showing you this here. So this one, it came right into the blue box, and now it has rallied over 430 points. So against this swing low here, we're going to be looking for this one to continue with that bullish move to the upside. So it's a matter of a question on all the indices. If are the indices ready to give us or to see the all-time highs? And that will be seen shortly when we start with the market analysis. Right, so before I go any further, guys, our next course is starting on the 13th of June. So if you do want to be part of our community there, you can just go on the website and we've got a special for you. We will be running a 25% special on our full course, and our advanced one-on-one will be running at a 30% special. So you can go on the website there and have a look at those special, or to try and take advantage of those. If you go to the pricing, you will see our prices there. Again, full course will be running at a 25% special up until the 13th of June, the date where we're starting our 10-day live course. But you can still purchase the course earlier than that, because that will give you an advantage that you get access to the previous course, and then when it's the date of the live course, you have already watched the previous one, and you're probably having some questions or anything that was not clear during the watching the recordings, then you can ask during the live course. All right, so now let's have a look at the market going forward. What do we expect here? Right, so we're going to be starting with the US dollar pairs, pound US dollar here. You've seen what is the expectation on this one. Watch out for this one here. You can have a nice trade setup here on pound US dollar going to next week. So we are looking at this one here. I'm going to be just running through this one as quick as I can. Simple and straightforward structures that we are looking at here, this to complete this three-wave move to the upside. Then from there, we're going to be looking for this bearish move to the downside here on pound US dollar. Let me go on a 4-hour time frame here. So we are just looking at this one to be a three-wave move structure here. Then we're going to be looking for a bearish continuation move to the downside. A little bit of a push, looking at this to be an A, B, C here. Get this to come around the 127 area. Then from there, we can look for a bearish move to the downside there. Euro US dollar here will be the same. We are at the critical area here. We've been looking at this one to be a three-wave move to the upside here, but still expecting per the sequence here and per the guidelines. We would expect that the wave 4 must come around at 38.2. So we're looking at this here to be a three-wave move. We should see this one here to be a reaction in a three-wave move and still see this one here to be a structure like this. So we're simply looking for this WXY structure here before we see a continuation move to the downside. You can refer to that on the trade recaps there on a Euro US dollar. Now let's have a look at the next one. That would be US dollar chief. So obviously this is investor correlated to a Euro US dollar here, but this appears to have made an impulsively move. So you've got to be careful when you trade this here. We could be having a nest that is taking place here. We could have had this one to be our wave 1 here, our wave 2, and still this one here to be our wave 1, and this being our wave 2. So this to be our wave 2, this could be our wave A here. We can have this one to be a three-wave move and one more leg to a downside, and then a move to the upside, especially against this swing low. So this could just be our wave A here. We get this one to be our wave B, and this one to be a wave C, and then this move to the upside. But if Euro US dollar is going to be making that move to the upside, to the downside from where it is, you saw the alternative view, then that will mean US dollar chief can even start to pick up from here and make this move to the upside based on that correlation there. And let's have a look at the next one. That will be our US dollar here. You saw what we're expecting here against this swing high here. We are looking at this one here to be a three waves corrective structure. So it's a matter of a question whether that three wave corrective structure has come to an end, or we still yet to see one more leg to the upside here. But what we're looking at is this one here to be a three-wave move corrective structure here. But I would still have to see this one here to be a three-wave move here and another three more wave. Just simply WXY structure here for this one to at least come the 50% of this year before we see more bearish move to the downside. So watch out for that one on our US dollar here. This might just be a reaction around this area here in a three-wave move, and then we see one more leg before the actual drop to the downside there. It will be the same as well as New Zealand US dollar. I've seen on the market to cap. We are looking at this one here to at least come around 50% of this whole drop to the downside here. So we are looking at this one to be a three-wave move to the upside here, sharp three-wave move. I would be expecting to see this one to be a three-wave move to the downside and three more wave to the upside here. Simply WXY structure that we are looking at here before we see the correct move to the downside. We're looking at this to be an impulsive A here. This WXY structure will be completing our wave B before we see more bearish move to the downside there. All right, so US dollar CAD, we have been looking at this one here to be a three-wave move to the downside. I'm giving you exactly what we are expecting here going to the next week. Three-wave move to the downside here, and we've had this one as our running flat structure. So we're going to be expecting to see these three more wave moves here before the actual move. So we're simply looking at this here to be a WXY structure, and from there we're going to be looking for a bullish move to the upside there. So we've been talking about this one here for quite some time, that we should not look selling the US dollar CAD. We should keep on making a move to the upside. The DXY, same thing applies here. We are looking at this one here to be a three-wave move to a downside, and it's a matter of a question whether this would be ready to make a move to the upside, or we still yet to see this one here. So I'd like to see this one to be a three-wave bounce here, and see this one to be a three-wave move. A simple WXY corrective structure here. Then we're going to be looking at this to have completed our wave 4 as seen on the market recaps. Then from there, we might be looking for this big move to the upside on the DXY. But just take note that there's nothing wrong with this yet making a move to the upside here as soon as an alternative view. But our indicator will tell us when this is ready to make this move to the upside here. Right, so let's look at the yen pairs. So US dollar yen. So we've been talking about the yen pairs. They are at their extreme. So please do not fall for some of the yen pairs. Yeah. So US dollar yen, I would be expecting, or I'm expecting that this has already done here, and we are ready for this move to the upside, provided that the price still trades below this year. We've been looking at this one to be a 5-wave move to the upside that has completed this wave B here. Now we are looking at this one to drop to the downside. So you can even still get this one here to be a 3-way structure like this. If you do get a structure like this here, then watch out for that one. US dollar yen should continue with that drop to the downside there. Pound yen, we are looking at this one here to drop, but structurally, if you are looking at this here, this appears to have been a 3-wave move to the downside here. This being an ABC here, we could be having this one here as the structure here can even give us one more leg down here. We get this move to the upside before this drop. What happens after this year, we will see. For now, with the data that we have here is telling us that we should be expecting at least this one more leg here and this leg to the upside, or it can even just make this leg to the upside here. But against this swing high here, you're going to be expecting to see this one here to be trading to the downside. We could even be having a leading diagonally, a 3-wave move to the downside. We can have this one here to be a 3-wave move and still have this one as a 3-wave move here, but it's too far to be focused in that leading diagonal. But the data that we have, once again, it is telling us that we should be expecting to see this move here on pound yen. At least if we can get this here, then we're going to be looking for this move here, which should be over 700 pips. That will be equaling to this one here. Right, so Euro JPY will be the same as well. We've been looking at this one. It's a matter of whether this has completed this move here. So for quite some time, we've been showing you that this could be the structure here, this being an A, B, C, or a WXY corrective structure here. So it's a matter of whether this is done. 3-wave move to the upside, 3-wave move down here, and this should be a 3-wave move to the downside or to the upside here. So it's a matter of whether this is already done or we still yet to see one more leg to the upside before the actual drop. Now, down to the 4-hour time frame, let me show you here how are we expecting to see that one more leg to the upside. We could have had this one here to have been an impulsively move to the upside. This to have completed our wave A. Could we have this as a 5-wave move to the upside? This to have been a 3-wave move to the downside here, and we still see a leg that is related to this one here before the actual drop. But that has to be confirmed. The market has to break this higher, and we can expect that we're going to be looking for that to move to the upside before the actual drop. But that's what we've been looking at on Euro JPY for quite some time. Chief yen, we are looking at this one here to have ended this cycle to the upside here. Now we are looking at this one to drop to the downside. And just to show you here on a daily time frame, why are we expecting a big move to the downside here? We've had this one to have been a 3-wave move to the downside here. The 3-wave moves I'm referring to here, and this year to have been a 3-wave move to the upside here. Now we're going to be expecting to see a similar move to this one here on Chief JPY. Once you have this on a daily time frame correct, then it's only a matter of just looking for these bounces here and looking for the selling opportunities once you've got this one on the daily time frame. Now let's have a look at this here on the 4-hour time frame, what we could be having on Chief yen. Right, so Chief yen, we could be having a nest that is building up here. We could have had this one to be our wave 1, this being our wave 1 here. Wave 2, and we could be having this one to be our wave 1 in a lower degree, this being our wave 1, 3-wave move to the upside, our wave 2, and if that's the case, that will mean the price should not come to this high here. If it breaks this high here, then we're going to be looking at this one to be a 3-wave move here, and that will mean we are going to see this one more leg before the actual drop to the downside. But for now, I'm looking at this one here to be a 3-wave move, pull back here against this swing high, then I'm going to be looking for this one here to make a move to the downside here on Chief yen. CAD yen will be the same here. We are expecting this one to drop all the way down to the downside. But if you look at the price action that is taking place around this area here, this is very corrective here. Somebody could be saying that this is going to give us a leg to the upside here. We could be have had this one here. This should be our ABC. This being our ABC here. three-wave corrective structure. But if that's the case, we need to see this swing low holding here. We could be having this one as our wave 1 here, and this should be our wave 2, and we get this one to be a 3 and a 4 and a wave 5, and then we come and check this here before the actual drop to the downside. Alternatively, we could be having this one as a 3-wave move to the downside, this being our W here, and we can have this one to be a structure like this here, and still get this one to be a 3-wave move to the downside. Be a leading diagonal to the downside, or that will mean we are having this one as a W here, now wave X, this to be our wave Y. That will mean we're still going to see this one more leg to the upside here. But be careful, we should see that one making a move to the upside here, and then it's going to be a matter of whether this is going to be our wave 1 here, wave 2, a 3 and a 4 and a wave 5, or alternatively, we could be having this as our wave A here. That's being a 3-wave move, our wave B. We give this as a wave C, and then that would mean we are going to see this 3-wave move to a downside, this being a WXY corrective structure. Right, so let's have a look at New Zealand here. We've seen this one here that we are looking at this year to have completed the 3-wave move to a downside, as much as this is starting very correctively, but that is normal. So we're looking at this one to be an ABC here. This is already running over 360 pips. So we are still expecting that we should see this one here to be making a move to the downside. At most, what you could expect here is this here, that this could be a 3-wave move here. Get this one the equal legs, and we have this one as our W here, our wave X, and still see more 3-wave move before the actual move to the upside. Structurally, we could have like this here, but our primary view is that this against this here, we should be seeing New Zealand yen to be continuing with that bullish move to the upside there. So same thing applies with the Audi yen. We are looking at this one. We've seen this one during the market recaps. We are looking at this here to be a 3-wave move to the downside. This should be an ABC completing our wave B. Now against this window here, we're expecting to see this one to be continuing with this bullish move to the upside. Alternatively, just like the New Zealand yen, you can still have this one here to be a structure. You can get this one up here to move to a downside, and get this one to be a 3-wave move here, and still see this 3-wave move, which is related to this one here, which is related to this one before you get the actual move. If that's the case, that will mean we're having this as a W wave X here, just to be a wave Y before they get the actual move to the upside. So just be careful with that one there on the yen. Euro Audi, we've been showing you this one here last week, the previous week, that we are looking at this one to have completed this impulsively move to a downside here, and now we are looking at this to have been a correction here. This to have been a 3-wave move to the upside here, 3-wave move to a downside, and we're looking at this one to have completed this move here. Now from there, we're going to be expecting to see this one to be a bearish move to a downside, or alternatively, we can still have this structure here. Okay. We can still have this as a 3-wave moves here, 3-wave move to a downside. This to have been a move to the upside, this to be a 3-wave moves here. So just to show the internal waves, we're going to be looking at this here to be a 3-wave move up here. We can have this one here to be a move to a downside, a move here, and this comes here, and still have this one for the one more leg to complete these 3-wave moves here in my white degree here. Even though we expected this should drop from here, but do expect that this could be a 3-wave move, one more leg before the actual drop to the downside here on Euro Audi. But for now, if you look at this here, it's just telling us that we should be expecting that to see a leg to the downside here. This being a 3-wave move, to move up here, and most of us expect that this should come around the equal legs here. That's only if we are going to see this one more leg up here before the actual drop to the downside. But if you look at Euro New Zealand, it looks very likely that it has already completed a move to a downside, as much as this might be starting correctively around this area here. But this is just to get you deceived and think of this move here, and the market could move with this drop to the downside. I should have shown you this one here. This was a trade setup that we posted in a members area here as well. So we've been looking at this one here to have been an expanding flat corrective structure here, and we believe that this is already done, and we should be expecting to see a move to the downside. Even though structurally, if you zoom into this here, this looks like a 3-wave move to the downside here, and most what you should watch out here is that this could be a 3-wave move here, and this should be an expanding flat corrective structure here. So very likely that we might even see this one to be a 3-wave move to a downside here. That will be at the equal to this one here. Even if that's the case, that will mean we are going to see this one here to be making this one more leg to the upside before the actual drop to the downside here. but it's very likely that this could be the structure here. So be a WXY could have structure, or this could just be a leading diagonal here. You can still have a structure like this here, and we have this one as a leading diagonal. And if that's the case, that would mean you can still trade this here, because after a leading diagonal, you're going to be expected to see this three-way pullback before you see a continuation move to the downside. So the indicator will confirm if that is going to be a leading diagonal, or that is just going to be a three-way product structure, and then we're going to see one more leg to the upside. EuroCAD, we are looking at this one here. It could be that we've heard this one to have ended and moved to the downside here, and we are looking for this bullish move to the upside. But you've got to be careful with this here, because structurally, before you even look at the bullish move to the upside, you could be having this here, the structure here, and if that's the case, that will mean you are still going to see this one here to be giving us this one more leg here. But for now, the key level is going to be this one here, because you could have had this here as a wave 4, and this to have completed this wave 5 here. And if that's the case, that will mean against this swing low here, if you are seeing this one to be a three-wave move here, then you're going to be looking for that bullish move to the upside on EuroCAD. Let me just show you here what I'm talking about. We were looking at this one to have made this year to have been our wave 5. Let me just show you here, EuroCAD. Okay, so this is what we've been looking at here on the EuroCAD. This should have been a move to the downside here. So we could be having starting a new cycle to the upside here. This could be ended wave 5 here, and this could be our way. I'm showing you updated chart there. We could have had this one here. If you look at this forecast, we were expecting that this was going to drop. There's a chart that is missing here that I should be showing you. We were expecting that this was going to this is a chart here. We're looking at this one to have ended this move here and looking for this one to make a move to the upside. And if you look at this has already traded over 423 pips, and we are still expecting that this should make a move to the upside. So we could have ended this one here to have been our wave 5 here with a truncation. This should be a wave 4, wave 5 here, and this should be starting a new cycle, this being our wave 1. And if that's the case, that will mean you need to see this three-way pullback against this swing low here. Then you're going to be expecting to see this one here to be a 5-wave move to the upside before we see this correction and a continuation move to the upside there on EuroCAD. Right, now let's get back to this here. So against this swing low here, we're going to be looking for a continuation move to the upside. EuroChief, you need to be careful with this one here. We could have had this one to be a three-wave move. If you remember very well, my colleague has been talking about this possibility that we could have had this one here to be a three-wave move to the upside here. Three-wave moves I'm referring to here. This to be a three-wave move to the upside, to move down here, and this to have been a three-wave move here. That would mean we should see this one here to be even trading more lower. So just zooming into around this area here, we could this to be the structure here before we see more bearish move to the downside here. So we could be having this one here to be a structure. We could be having this one to be a three-wave move up here to move down. Expect that this can come back and check this side here before we see the actual drop to the downside. So against this swing high here, we're going to be expecting that EuroChief should continue with the move to the downside. So we could have had this to be a three-wave move, this being our W here, and this here to be our wave X, and we should expect to see this three-wave move to the downside there on EuroChief. Right, so Euro Pound, we are expecting to see this one here to be making a move to the upside, which is negatively correlated to a pound US dollar. So we've been looking at this one here to have been an impulsively move to the upside here. This to have been a sharp three-wave move to our downside, because pound US dollar is expected to finish that quantitative structure here. We might not see Euro Pound to be making this leg to the downside here. It would have been nice to have got a pound US dollar here to be still way too far to complete the quantitative structure, because I would be expecting that we have this one here to be a three-wave move here, three-wave move to the upside, and this one here to be a three-wave move here. Then I was going to be looking at this here to be a WXY quantitative structure here against this swing low, and expecting that we should see this one to be making a move to the upside. But pound US dollar is very likely it's going to be that one more leg up and then this one to drop, which might mean that Euro pound against this swing low here, it might also start to make this move to the upside. But please do expect that we can have this one to be a three-way pullback structure like this here, and if that one, it will be a nice complete corrective structure there on Euro pound. Right, so let's look at the pound pairs. Pound Audi, we'll be looking at this one here to be a three-way move to the upside before we drop. So we'll be looking at this to be a three-way moves here to a move to a downside. So I'm going to be expecting to see this one here to be one more leg to the upside again. We can get this one to be a one more leg and then a drop. We're simply looking at this one to be a W here, wave X. So I'm going to be expecting this here to be a wave Y, and from there we should expect that this should drop to the downside. But obviously, if it drops from here, I need to be convinced by having this one to break this low here. Then from there we can start to look for the sells around this area here. But I would love to see this one for this one more leg before they drop to the downside. Pound New Zealand. The same here, we are looking at this one to be a WXY corrective structure here. So looking at this first leg to be a three-wave move to the upside here. This being an A, B, C here through a move, and then we've had this one to be an expanding flat corrective structure here through a move. So we're going to be looking for this one here to be a three-wave move corrective structure here. This one more leg, this will be our W here, our wave X, and this to be our wave Y before we can look for that bearish move to our downside. Unless, of course, if it does goes as far as trading to this low here, then we can look for this possibility of this one to be making a move to the downside. So meaning that our primary view is that this against this swing low here, we should see this one more leg up here before the actual drop to the downside on pound New Zealand. Pound CAD, still not very clear here. We are expecting that this should make a move to the upside. But what you need to be careful of is that we could be having this one here to be a three-wave moves here, and this gives us this one more leg before the actual move to the upside. But against this swing low for now, we're going to be expecting that this is going to make that move to the upside. And let me just show you here on a daily time frame, why are we expecting to see pound CAD to be making a move to the upside here? So we've been looking at this for quite some time now, and we have been showing this here. We've had this drop to the downside here. But we've had this as a drop here, but we are looking for this here. We are looking for this leg here to complete. If you look at the internal waves there, let me just use a different color here. We've had this one to be a three-wave move to the upside here, three-wave move to the downside, but something is missing here. So we are looking at this to be a leg to the upside, a leg to the downside here. We should see this one to be making this last leg to the upside. That will be completing this W here, our X, and this to be a three-wave move to be our wave Y. Then from there, we can expect the leg that is going to be related to this one here. So we're going to be expecting to see that move to the upside, but it still needs to be confirmed there. So just because we are calling that it should make this step to the upside, but this does not mean that you should just come and immediately buy this. Preferable, wait for this here to confirm and take out these highs here. Once you see that taking these highs here, then you can look for these 2,000 pips and above that we're expecting before the actual drop to the downside. Pound Chief, one more leg to the downside is what we're expecting here. We'll be looking at this one to be a three-wave move to the downside here, three-wave move to the downside, and this here to be a three-wave move to the upside here. So we're going to be expecting to see this one to be a move to the upside. You can still see this one here against this same high. If you see a bounce, you're going to be expecting to see this one more leg to a downside, which will be related to this move here. So it's not yet ready to make a move to the upside, at this one more leg drop before the actual move to the upside on pound Chief. And let's look at the cross pairs out of New Zealand, simple and straightforward. We are looking at this one here against this swing low to be expecting a move to the upside here. So against this swing low here, we are looking at this one to be a three-wave move pullback here. This being a three-wave move pullback right here, we're going to be expecting to see this one to be making a move to the upside. But if it goes as far as around this area here, then it will be invalidating. Then we're going to be looking for this bearish move to the downside here. But this looks like it has completed this corrective structure. We're going to be looking for Audi New Zealand to make a move to the upside there. Audi CAD, we are looking at this one to be done with this move to the downside here. This should be a move to the downside, and we are expecting that against this swing low here, we should be expecting that this should go to make a move to the upside. However, please do keep in mind that we could be having this one here as the corrective structure here, or as an expanding flat corrective structure. If you are familiar with this here, that will mean that if you do see this one here to be a 3-wave corrective structure like this, then you're going to be expecting to see more bearish move to the downside. But for now, we are still looking at this one to continue the move to the upside. Even if this does correct here, one more leg up will be expected before the actual drop to the downside there on the CAD. New Zealand CAD will be the same as well. Just with the Audi CAD, we are looking at this one against this swing low here to be making a move to the upside here. So if you do see this one to be a 3-way pullback against this swing low here, then you can expect that we should see New Zealand CAD to be making that move to the upside there. Right, so let's have a look at the next one here. Audi Chief. This is a very choppy price action that is taking place here, but what you could be having here is this one to have been a 3-wave move to the upside, to the downside. Yeah, we could be having this one, a 3-wave move to the downside here, 3-wave move up, and this should be a 3-wave move here. Simple W here, with X here, and this should be now with Y, and I'm going to be expecting to see this one to be making a move to the upside. But this still needs more confirmation. Get an impulsively move, and then you see this 3-wave structure against this swing low, and you can look for that buying opportunity to the upside there on Audi Chief. New Zealand Chief, we've been talking about this one for quite some time here, that we are expecting to see this one to be similar to Audi Chief. If we are looking at Audi Chief to make a move to the upside, that will mean we can also be having this one to make a move to the upside. You could have had this 3-wave moves here, 3-wave moves as a running flat corrective structure here, and this to have been a 3-wave move here, this being our W here, with X, and this to have been with Y here. So you can expect that this should give us that move to the upside. However, be careful of this here. We could still have this one to be a leading diagonal here. Now, this is where the help of the indicator comes in. This being a 1, 2 here, 3, 4 here. This should have been our wave 5. So we could have had this here as our wave 2. This being our wave 1 here, and this should be a wave 2, and this is already starting to make a move to a downside, and that's where the help of the indicator comes in play here. But do expect that we could be having this one to drop. If it takes these swing lows here, then we're going to be looking for more bearish move to a downside. But again, like I've shown you that we could be having this here as a 3-wave move to a downside here, and this should be a W here, our wave X, this should be our wave Y, and we see this one to be making that move to the upside there. All right, so CAD Chief, last one from the cross pairs. This could be having this one here to have completed this 5-wave move to the upside, and it might be a time for a bigger correction here. This should be a 1, 2 here, our 3 here, our 4, this should be wave 5, and we could be having this in A here. We can get this through pullback, and this one, this should be an A here, our wave B here, and this should be our wave C before we see the actual move to the upside there. But overall, we still like to see CAD Chief to be continuing with the bullish move to the upside. But this appears to be a 5-wave impulsive move to the downside. And if that's the case, that would mean we just going to see this one to be a pullback here and still get this one more leg before the actual move to the upside. All right, so let's have a look at the indices. As seen here, we are expecting the indices. Or before I look at the indices, let's have a look at the commodity pairs. Gold. So we have been looking for gold to drop to the downside here. So we'll be looking at this one to have been an A, B, C here, and this one to drop. 5-wave move to the upside, I will be here, and this should be now wave C. And against this swing high here, gold might be starting to give us this drop to the downside here. Remember, we've been looking at this one to be now wave 1 in a lower degree, and this to be our wave 2 here. Meaning that we do not expect that gold is going to come back around this highs here. If for whatever reason, if it does make this move to the upside, then we must start to look at the possibility of gold to be making a move to a downside. But for now, I'm expecting that we should see gold dropping to the downside here. And the overall structure that we are looking at here is this to have been a 3-wave move. Let me just show you here on a daily time frame what we are looking at. This to have been a 3-wave move to the downside here on gold. And 3-wave move to the upside here, 3-wave move to a downside here, 3-wave move to the upside, and we are looking at this here, be a 3-wave move coming down here, or it's going to be an impulsive move to a downside. We can have this is a wave 1, a wave 2, we get a 3 and a 4 and a wave 5, and we have this one as an A, B, C here, A, B, C structure here, or it can even give us this here. This could be a 3-wave move here. We still see this one to be a 3-wave move, and still have this one to be a 3-wave move to a downside, and then we have a simple WXY quantitative structure before the actual move to the upside. So overall, we are still looking bearish on gold, at least to come back around the 1600 to 1500 before a move to the upside. So it will be the same as well with silver, because they are positively correlated. If we're looking at gold to drop, so we should expect the same as well on silver. So silver will be looking at this one to be a leading diagonal, wave one here. This should be now wave one, and this should be now wave two, and this should be a wave three. Now we're looking at this here to be almost done with our wave four, and we're going to be expecting to see this last leg to a downside here, which is our wave five. That will mean we do not expect that this could go as far as the territory of a wave one. If it does that, then we could be having this as an A, B, C here, and we have this bigger correction as our wave X, and this move to a downside, just like gold. But I still like the idea that this should come to an end anytime from here, and we should be expecting that this should drop to the downside. All right, so the same with platinum will be the same as well as the rest of the other commodity pairs. We are looking at this one here to continue with that bearish move to the downside. Overall structure, we are looking at this one here to have been our connector here. That will mean we are still expecting to see a leg that is going to be related to this one here. 5 wave move to one outside. We're going to be looking for this one to be 5 wave moves here. And from there, once that is done, we can look for the possibility of platinum to be making a move to a downside. But do expect that this can come back around this area here before the actual move to the upside there on platinum. Brent crude oil, we're looking at this one here to have completed possible. We must start to see this one to be dropping here. We could have completed this 3-wave move structure here, and we could be starting to give out to drop here. So I'm going to be expecting to see this one here dropping, at least to come around the area of 88 dollars per barrel on Brent crude oil. So this is the strategy I'm looking at here. This should be an A, B, C here, and we're going to be looking for this here. This could be our wave A here, this being our wave B, and this to be our wave C here before we see a move to the upside, and then a drop before the extra move to the upside here. But we are looking at this one overall to be a W, our wave X here, and this should be our wave Y, and this move to the upside on Brent crude oil. Right, so let's have a look at the indices as shown here. Just simple and straightforward here. We are looking at these 3 quantitative structures, and it's a matter of whether this is already done or we still have to see legs to the upside. So we are looking at this one to be an A, B, C here to have completed. Now we're going to be looking for this move to the upside here. If it extends higher, it will even be much better to confirm that it is already done. What we don't want to see is for the price to be coming around these doors here. And if that's the case, then we're going to be expecting to see more bullish move to the upside there on NASDAQ. All right, so let's have a look at Dow Jones. Dow Jones, we are expecting to see this one to have completed a 3-wave move to the downside, and we're going to be expecting to see more bullish move to the upside here. So we are looking at this one to be a 3-wave move. Wave A here, this should be our wave B, and this will be now wave C here, and we're expecting to see this one. So get this one to be a 3-wave move quantitative structure against this window here, and we're going to be expecting to see this move to the upside. Right, S&P 500 will be the same as well. We are looking at this one to have been into the blue box, and the expectation that against this swing low here, we should be looking for a bearish bullish move to the upside. We are looking at this one to be an A, B, C here, and we're going to be looking for this one to make a move to the upside here. If it extends higher, comes around these highs, it will be even much better. Then we can look for these 3-wave quantitative structures against this swing low here for a bullish combination move to the upside. Let's have a look at the next one. That will be DAX here. DAX, we spoke about this one here, and this could have ended the move to the downside, and looking at this one to be our wave 1 here, and this to have completed this 3-wave structure. So we're going to be looking for the combination move to the upside there on DAX, probably to go back to the all-time high, but we are going to be looking for that combination move to the upside. Right, so Nifty, we could be having this one here to be giving us one more leg to the downside before the actual move to the upside. Yeah, we can have this one as a structure here, the move to the downside, and this one here to be a move. If you look at this here, this could be a 5-wave move on our way A here, and this to be wave B here. So we could be having this as a 1, 2 here, wave 3, and we could be having this as a wave 4. We see one more leg here for we could complete the 5 wave move to be wave C before the actual move to the upside. That's what I'm going to be expecting on Nifty. And Nikki, we've been talking about this structure for quite some time here. We are expecting that this is done here, this being a move to the upside, wave 1 here, and this will be now wave 2. We're going to be looking for a 3, and this 4 and the wave 5 here. Remember that you'll be looking at this as a wave 4 in a bigger degree. And lastly, from the indices, we are looking at UK 100 as seen on the forecast or on the trade recap. So we've been looking at this one here to have been a 3 wave moves here after this impulsively move to the upside. So we are looking at this against this swing low that it is done, and we're expecting to see more continuation move to the upside. Well, guys, that's all I had to share with you on this week. If you do like what we do, please do subscribe and give us a thumbs up. Cheers, everybody, and trade responsible. Bye-bye.